Over the years, we've seen players put up some crazy and unreal stat lines, but nothing quite like this. I know what some of you were thinking when you read that title. Yo, this has gotta be clickbait, but it's not. You read the title to this video correctly. The player we will be talking about in this video averages 76 points per game. Not 7.6, but 76 points. He's sort of starting to blow up on social media and everybody has a ton of questions, but the main one that every single person has is, who in the heck is this kid? Lucky for you guys, Matt was doing some research over the past couple of days and I found out a lot of things. And well, let's just say he's an intriguing prospect to say the least, so let's get into it. In any level of basketball, whether you're talking about the NBA, college, high school, or even middle school, offense is key. Offense is the new meta. Nobody's looking to shut down your opponent. Nowadays, you're just thinking about how you can outscore them. And as sad as it is, nobody cares about defensive players anymore, and they really don't mean that much. You can be great on defense, but nobody's looking for that player, especially in the recruitment process, and especially for NBA level talent. To go along with that, not only being an offensive player is key, but so is being a really good shooter. It's not even a thing that you don't have to have anymore. In 2021 and moving forward, you have got to be able to shoot the ball to be a great player. Maybe in high school you can get away with not being a great shooter, but when you get to college you're going to get exposed, and if you get to the NBA you'll also get exposed. And if you think I'm wrong or you don't believe me, look at this perfect and prime example. I'm not the biggest NBA fan out there, but I've been watching the playoffs and I'm sure most of you have too. There's so many examples, but the one I'm going to be bringing up is Ben Simmons, and I think you know where I'm going with this. As great as an athlete Ben Simmons is, and as great as a basketball player overall he is, he's a liability in the playoffs. And the only reason that's the case is because he can't shoot. Every other aspect of the game he's good at, but he can't shoot the 3-ball and he can't shoot free throws, so he's a liability. The crazy part about that is that 20 years ago, Ben Simmons may be looked at as one of the best players in the league, but now some people don't even think he's average. I'm not gonna disrespect the dude like some people do because he's a good NBA player, but I see what people are getting mad about. As good as he is, you can't even have him on the court late in the game because they're just going to foul him. If he could shoot just below average and maybe 20 to 25%, he'd be in the MVP discussion every season. But since he's such a non-factor on the offensive side of the ball, he's almost irrelevant out there. And what happens in those scenarios is that he's not dumb, he's woke, and he understands that people are criticizing him. So now he's starting to get in his own head. Then what starts to happen is that it translates over to other aspects of his game, like finishing at the rim and passing. Simmons is one of the best athletes, not just in basketball, but in the entire world. Unfortunately though, just because of one little thing as simple as him not being able to shoot, it hurts his overall game. Therefore, with all that being said, if you still don't think offense is king, I don't know what to tell you. And oh yeah, before I forget to mention, Ben Simmons was really close to winning Defensive Player of the Year, so he's one of the best defenders in the league, but nobody cares because he's that bad on offense. So once again, if you think being a defensive player means anything nowadays, you're wrong, because you can be a good defensive player, but you also got to be good on the offensive side of the ball, and you got to be able to shoot, and I cannot emphasize that enough. Anyways, moving on with this video, we gotta talk about a special young man and what he's been doing. And the player I'm talking about goes by the name of Jaquan Carlos. I'm sure by now most of you or some of you have heard about this guy and what he's been doing on the basketball court because it's ridiculous. He's been putting up an absurd amount of points, but before we get into that, there's more to his backstory that we need to talk about. His blow up in the past week or two has been unreal, but what people don't understand is that this isn't your average Billy Bob Joe from Tennessee that came out of nowhere. He's always been able to hoop. What I'm trying to say is that he's always had this good game, but he hasn't always received the attention that he deserves, until now. In middle school, he was always looked at as one of the best players in the next big thing, and going into high school that continued. When he was converging over from his 8th grade to 9th grade season and going into high school, here's what he had to say. In this quote, he was talking about things he needed to improve on going into high school. My game changed from the middle school level to high school is being more of a consistent shooter and getting stronger. Later in his interview, he also added this. I'm just ready to play against everybody on my schedule from the first game to the last. I just want to come out and compete on this big stage that my coach is putting the team on. Then last but not least, he said, I'm looking forward to winning a city and state championship. And he said that as a freshman. Most times, often than not, freshmen come in and they don't make an impact. But his story's a little different because he was the star player from the jump. When his freshman season wrapped up and it came to an end, he was great on offense and people knew that, but he actually talked more about his defense, which is ironic because I was talking about how it didn't matter. The only reason I'm even bringing this up is because some of you probably think he's a ball hog and he's a one-way player, but he likes to play on defense too, and I'll let you see what he said. Carlos stated, I think everyone has been sleeping on my ability on the defensive side of the game. I've been told that a lot of people think I'm a one-way player, so this year I'm going to show why I should be considered a two-way player. That quote was from his freshman season, and if anything, his defense has only gotten better up to this point. His freshman season was really solid, but flash forward in time to his 10th grade year, this is where things start to get interesting. There's not all that much to even say about his 10th grade year, which was his sophomore season, because he slightly got better. It wasn't nothing dramatic like eventually would come. But one key thing to note is that on April 30th in 2018, this is when he got his first offer from the Cincinnati Bearcats. Later that year too, he also took an unofficial visit to UConn, so this was pretty big in his recruitment process because he was now starting to get that 1 to 2 offer because that's the hardest one to get. Once you get 1 to 2 and 3, they start to roll in. Sadly though, as quick as he was building momentum, it got shut down due to reasons that he couldn't control. And those reasons that I'm referring to is the coronavirus because last year his season got shut down short like many other hoopers. It's unfortunate, that's all I know to say, but it didn't really slow down his recruitment process because he actually picked up a ton of offers that summer. In the month of June, he started racking up offers like it was nothing. Actually, ironically, this time last year on the same day as to when I'm posting this video, that's when it was announced that he got all these big time D1 offers. He got offered from East Carolina, Bryant, Connecticut, DePaul, Pittsburgh, St. John's, and Wake Forest. I know some of those schools, they're not highly up there, but most of them are big time offers, especially for D1 schools. Later in 2022, he also got an offer from Virginia Tech, Fordham, and Oklahoma State, which is his biggest one, at least in my opinion. He also got an offer from Hofstra, and in his recruitment process, it was fairly simple. I think he really liked Hofstra in that program, so not too long after he got offered, he decided to commit to them, and that's where he's currently committed. At this point in time in our story too, he was now looked at as a 3-star recruit. He never got higher than a 3-star, but never lower. So here's the thing, he was slept on a nationally scale and media scale as far as people like me and you that watch highlights, but on a recruiting scale, he wasn't too underrated. It wasn't a Stephen Curry or Damian Lillard story where he only got a couple of D1 offers. He's always got the recognition from recruiters and colleges, just not from, the average casual fans. That was up until the recent events that have occurred, and it's what everyone's been waiting on, and I can't even believe what he's doing. The season right now, the one I'm talking about, he is a senior and it got pushed back due to the virus, so it just really started. And in his 4 games so far, he's put up 51 points, 73 points, 92 points, and 90 points. If you add those up and divide them by 4, he's averaging a whopping 76.5 points per game. I actually wasn't giving him enough credit because I'm only going to title this video he's averaging 76, so my bad. If you were to tell me after his 73-point game he was going to have 2 90-point games, I wouldn't believe you. It's unreal to even score 70. crazy. There's no words to describe it and even talk about it besides it's unbelievable. Actually, when I thought about it, I do have words. He's like a 2K player. You know how growing up we made our My Player look like us, or I did at least, and we played 2K and we put the minutes up to 12 minutes per quarter and we go out there and score 140 something points. That's what this guy is doing, but in real life. He's living our dreams on 2K, but in real life. Let that sink in. One more time. He scored 90 points, 92, 73, and 51 for an average of 76.5. Wow. Hold on right there. Yes, that's right. I'm talking to you sitting in your bed. You about to go write a hate comment how he's a ball hog and he's playing in the wheelchair league. Before you do that, hear me out. Anytime someone does great in life, the first instinct that bitter and insecure humans have is that they try to hate on them. And what do you know? That's exactly what's going on for Jaquan Carlos. You can go to his Instagram or Twitter or wherever and just see all the hate comments because they're either calling him a ball hog, they hate to be his teammate, he's not playing anybody, and the list goes on. There's so many comments, I can't go over all of them and talk about them. If you want to see them, you can go check them out for yourselves. However, what I will say and speak on is this right here. I guess Mr. Carlos has been reading his comment section because when I'm speaking and making this video, he posted this on Instagram. I see they complaining about my competition, but this been going on against the best of the best. I always held my own. I don't play down to no competition. If I did, would that help me or my game in any way? I don't think so, but I'm on a mission. And in this Instagram post, he reposted a video of him going up against some of the best players in the world. It was in an open New York City run and he was playing some of the top players and he was eating out there like he's been eating in these recent games. The reason I talked about his Instagram post is because it goes hand in hand with my take on the situation. Look, I'm going to be very blunt with this. I don't care if he was playing in a wheelchair basketball league. 90 points, not once but twice, is impressive. I don't care where you do it or what age group or where you're playing. 90 points. Let that sink in. Some of you aren't even going to score 90 points this season, and he did it in one game. Is he playing 5-star recruits every night? No, but the goal doesn't change. The basketball doesn't change. You still got to go out there and put that ball in the hoop like you do any other night. You guys are trying to make it out and seem like they're lowering the rim for this guy and he's playing on 8 foot against 4th graders, but it's not happening. And I get it, I really do. I'm going to look at it from both standpoints. If he was playing better competition, he wouldn't be averaging and putting up this crazy amount of points, but I'm almost dang sure that he'd be putting up at least 30 or maybe 25. If you can't respect what he's been doing, the only thing I know to tell you is that you're a straight up hater. This isn't a fluke. This isn't a random guy. He just started getting attention. He's always been good. That's what I'm trying to make clear to some of you. The real question isn't if he's good or bad. We know he's good. The question and the biggest elephant in the room is that how much longer will this continue? Because it seems like he only scores more. I don't know the opposing teams or coaches he's playing, but there's no way I'll let him score 90 on my team. I'd put 4 or 5 on him before he did that. I'm sure some of the teams and coaches that he plays in the future, they're going to know that he's been scoring a lot, so his points will start to drop. At least that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Regardless of that, a lot of people think this guy has a chance to get to the league, and that's long down the road, but like I stated, or at least I think I stated, he's committed to Hofstra, and it looks like he's going to sign there, and that's a decent program, so maybe it'll play out best for him going to a non-power school like that because he could be a star player right away, average maybe 25-30 points, and be a sleeper pick to get to the NBA. He is only roughly 6'1" and 170 pounds, so not the best frame we've seen for a point guard, but it's not the worst. As far as getting to the league, though, that's a video for another day, and that's way too far ahead to even talk about. He's making history right now. He's a created 2K player, and he's living life, so you gotta respect that. I'm wishing Jaquan Carlos the best of luck and hope he continues to see a lot of success in his basketball career because he's got a bright future ahead of him. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. But with all that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. If you know the channel, what are you doing? Get off your butt and hit that subscribe button and tell your girlfriend to hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.